Welcome to Eyes and Tea Funny for Money, Ian Ashpitel, in a special double edition celebrating Eric and Little Ern, an award-winning show taking the UK by storm. If you haven't seen it, then now is your time to search online for the next available ticket. When I was lucky enough to be touring with the late Sir Ken Dodd, people would say, "Oh, I've not seen him yet. It must be something I should do to see Ken Dodd at least once." Yes, he worked up to the age of 90, but he's sadly no longer with us. Don't leave it too late. This show has given us a lifeline to Morecambe and Wise. Yes, maybe you'll never get to see Morecambe and Wise live on stage. Maybe you did. But Eric and Little Ern is more than the closest you will get. It is almost the real thing. And when you are in the moment of their show, you forget you are watching actors. Ian talks to me today about his love for the show, but also about his acting career up to this point. He has so many wonderful stories, including performing sketches on the Lee and Herring TV show, his part in Jack Dee's Lead Balloon and in the soap Family Affairs, and his TV Soap Award for Best Exit. He has appeared in movies such as The Comedian's Guide to Survival, Arthur Christmas, the animation, and The Marksman, and TV dramas such as Boone, Law and Order, Mr. Selfridge, Heartbeat, and Adrian Mole, The Cappuccino Years. But I get to know another gentleman of the business. I've enjoyed his company on a few occasions, and I share his story with you in hope that you will say, "Well, now I'm going online to buy a ticket." Do it. You won't regret it. In the meantime, welcome to Eyes and Teeth, Ian Ashpitel. My day's brightened up, really, talking to you. And the other day I spoke to John T, and you really do make me smile.
John T's the tall fella with the glasses, isn't he? That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, don't forget about that one.
Well, slightly balding.
Well, he says you've got short, fat, airy legs. So it's
fair enough.
Yeah. So, Ian, what you and John T have brought is huge success with this show, which I'll get to. But before then, you've got such a successful career, and people will know your face from so many things. So I like to talk about those productions and the television that we would have seen you on. But can you recall your first signs of wanting to act?
Yes, the first time was I sang in the church choir back in the day when I was about 7 or 8, and we went to the church, went to Manchester to see Peter Pan, and I think it was Bonnie Tyler. I'm talking about the 60s, where somebody, and it was the production of Peter Pan, and I was just like, it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
Wow, yeah.
This was just so amazing. I just went in another world. I totally believed. I was watching people flying around, and totally believed Peter Pan. It was such a magical experience.
Yes.
It's kind of from that moment on, and I always did sing. I was always singing in the choir, and always singing at school and singing.
Wow.
So that's how it all kind of started, but that was my first memory of theatre.
Brilliant. How old were you when Peter Pan was on?
I was 7 or 8.
Oh, bless.
Yeah,
Trying to remember my first panto, actually.
Yeah.
I think I was probably about 12 or 13, so it was quite late, but it was Rod Haranimu I went to see. I was about,
Really?
Reading Hexagon. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so where did you grow up?
Well, I'm originally from Lee in Lancashire. It's a small mining town near Bolton, between Bolton and Manchester.
Nice.
So our nearest big town was Bolton, and I used to go to Manchester to see the pantos and to go to theatre and various things. So that was when I grew up. And I lived there till I was about 10 years old,
okay.
And then moved from there to Northamptonshire.
Nice.
I went to about 3 different schools within about 4 years, because Mum went round opening old people's homes in Northamptonshire. So I sort of moved around a lot. But wherever I went, I did a lot of singing and performing in school plays. So wherever I went, that was my safety net was performing at school, really.
Yeah.
I always ended up in the school, played The Artful Dodger in Oliver in Wellingborough.
Brilliant.
And the Pirates of Major General in the Pirates of Penzance in Cannock. So great roles, and always doing the school play and always performing.
Fabulous.
Showing off.
Yeah, that's what we like to do, isn't it? Is show off. And
It's the building blocks of performers, really. I used to go to Bolton Market and have black peas and orange juice and get my Airfix kit when I was about 10 years old.
Oh, nice. Wow, there's funny memories we have.
It is, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it?
Did you go to drama school at all?
When I was 16, I kind of ran away to sea. I joined the Royal Navy. So I was in the Royal Navy for 9 years. And I was an HMS Hermes with Prince Charles when he was a helicopter pilot.
Amazing.
And then for the last 5 years, I was in submarines. I was HMS Valiant and HMS Swiftsure.
That's incredible.
I left December 81 which was obviously just before the Falklands, and my old submarine, the Valiant, went down to the Falklands, and I volunteered to go back in the Navy, but they wouldn't take me.
No?
So I left the Navy to become an actor. But basically, the submarine had broken down a couple of years earlier in Plymouth. Tim Brooke Taylor and Sue Pollard were at the Hoe Theatre doing a play called Not Now, Darling. And I went to see the play with the guys. And so they came on the submarine, and I showed them round. And then went to see the show, and I thought, that's it. They just confirmed what I'd always wanted to do, was to be an actor. So I put my notice in to leave the Navy and applied for drama school.
That's fantastic. Did you ever sing Yellow Submarine? Because you're a singer and you're on a submarine. Did you?
Constantly.
Did you?
We sing it all the time, Steve. We all live in a yellow submarine. Of course we do.
Was it yellow? Or was it a rusty maroon colour?
It's black. The big black pig, we used to call it. But when I got a letter. I had a letter to go and work in the Middle East as a radio operator, because that was my skill when I left the Navy. I was a radio operator. I used to read Morse code and type and signal. So there was a sort of need for that in the Middle East, working for oil companies. I had a letter in one hand for Aramco for a lot of money, and I sat in the pub with my mates, and then the other hand I had a letter from drama school, which basically I didn't get a grant. So the fees are paid, but I had to support myself through drama school. So that was the decision I made in the pub that night. And they all said, obviously, you're going to go to the Middle East and work for the oil company. I said, no, I'm going to go to drama school and be an actor. I've been broke ever since.
That's what we do. We choose. We make that decision, don't we? And it's a wonderful.
Not about the money. It's not about the money. And
it's not.
I know we've got a family, you've got to pay bills, but at that stage in your career, when you want to do it, the last thing you're thinking of is money.
Yes, yeah. I'm still in that position now. I'm not, but I've always been very passionate about my work and my art. Like you say, you do need the money, but I don't. It's not everything that I want, No. I just love my job too much. You never bumped into Bernie Flint, did you? Because he was in the Navy.
Yes, I did bump into Bernie. Yes, we had a drink and a little trip down memory lane about the Navy. Yes, he's a great guy. He's very funny as well, Bernie.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah. I spoke to him the other day. He's great guy. You call yourself a jobbing actor. You're jobbing actors, which means you do a lot of bit parts, didn't you, in movies and dramas and stuff. But you've done so much. Do you have any favourite comedy people that you love to watch on TV, or actors that you admired?
Well, actors, I love Spencer Tracy. From the acting side of things, Spencer Tracy was always a big favourite of mine. And it's such a disappointment to me now that you say to young people Spencer Tracy and they've no idea who you're talking about. But to me, it was a great... And I love all the Ealing comedies. And Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, watching the old Ealing comedies, Will Hay and all that, all that lot. Of course, Eric and Ann. We all grew up with Eric and Ann as well. And all those 70s comedians, Oh You Are Awful and all that, all those Benny Hill.
Dick Emery,
we grew up with all those great comedians, those great TV series. So it's like everybody, 70s, 80s, we had such a rich choice, didn't we, of comedy?
We did. I think the 70s to the 90s were really great for variety, and it's just an incredible thing, really. And I guess it goes in, we're all inspired by loads of different things, aren't we? That whether it's music, acting, or dramas, films, or comedy, and you just never forget, and you remember your childhood by what what shows you used to watch. 40 Towers, Fools and Horses, and it's incredible. Ice and Steve. We get to 1987. Is that your first TV on Boone? What was your first TV?
Yes, I was at drama school, and I got my equity card. In those days, to work, you had to have an equity card. Yeah. So I did. I worked at King's Cabaret Theatre in Birmingham as a wine waiter, and to get your equity, you have to do 3 performances. So they let me do some singing on stage.
Oh, brilliant!
And I met Dustin G. and his partner.
Les Dennis.
Yeah, Les Dennis. And they were in the dressing room and they asked me for an eye, and I went to get them an eye and just had a chat with them in the dressing room. That was my first experience of... I'd met Betty from Crossroads in a bar once. That was about my...
Bless him.
And obviously Sue Pollard and Tim Brooke Taylor back in the day with the submarine. But that was my introduction to showbiz backstage at the King's Cabaret Theatre in Birmingham, which is quite big then.
Yeah.
It's quite a big place. Lots of people. So I used to stand and watch these people come through. But before that, I then went to Butlins and worked at Butlins as a redcoat.
Did you was a redcoat? Really?
Yeah, I was a redcoat for 3 months. I did 3 months at the Blackpool Metropole Hotel the year before I went to drama school, 1982.
Wow.
And that was great because you had people coming through. They had 3 rooms at the main house, the public bar, and a smaller place. And all these acts would come through, and you just stand and watch these people. And then just watch and learn, basically. So it's a great time.
That's amazing. Yeah. I won a talent competition in the Metropole Public Bar in 1995.
95. Well,
yeah.
Well, I know it very well. So I was there 82.
Blimey.
Yeah, the public bar at the end. And funnily enough, we went back recently.
Did you?
We went back to Blackpool and we stayed at that hotel. And it's not how the decor's the same. I don't think it's changed since 1982.
No.
But it's not a Butlins anymore.
No, it's not, is it? No, it's been taken over. It's a shame that these places aren't there. My first holiday park I worked, 93 Barry Island. They're all flats. You know, this first school I went to is wiped out. Yeah, it's such a shame when you go back and you want to relive your history and it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But luckily, a lot of your work is still there because it's all on YouTube or on they're repeating it on Gold TV and all that. You started to get into a lot of comedy, actually.
My first job in 87, it was Bill Cameron. I did Jesus Christ Superstar as acting ASM understudy, so the lowest of the low, and I go on as a disciple, and then I understudied as well. So that was my first job, was musical theatre.
Brilliant.
I always liked singing, and I went for loads of auditions for Les Mis and big West End musicals. I had singing lessons. But it's when the guy came out from one audition for Billy Elliot. I think I had 6 auditions for Billy Elliot, and I didn't get it.
Oh.
But the last one I went for, the guy went in before me. He'd been the lead in Les Mis, and he sang. And as he came out, I went, mate, that was brilliant, fantastic, well done. And of course, these guys are singers who act, and I'm just an actor who can sing a little bit. So I kind of made the decision then that musicals probably weren't for me. I wasn't quite good enough a singer to be in musicals. I kind of went to work in East Anglia for Eastern Angles Theatre Company. I did loads of little community thing, going to village halls, putting up the set, doing the show, and putting it down and going home.
Yeah,
I loved that. It was a great experience. And again, you're learning your trade as you're going along.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what theatre got me prepared for. And Butlins, all these things that I did, all then prepared me for what was coming. You know, Eastern Angles, who then gave me my first comedy television and comedy radio for weekending. I did weekending on Radio 4. That was the start of getting into the comedy television from then on.
I love all those Radio 4, comedy shows that they had. They had the Goons and, Educating Archie, which obviously I had a bit of a part in. So it's incredible to have radio as an inspiration.
It's a great job because on the weekending was topical because you got the script you record on the Friday and it went out on the Saturday.
Wow.
And so Thursday, you didn't get the script. You got the script when you arrived at Paris Studios. It's very exciting.
Okay.
So you just get the script and you go, Ian, you're the Japanese fisherman, and away you go. And
That's it.
So it's very instant and very topical as well. So it was that was good fun. And I did about three or four eps of that.
You were in Lee and Herron's Fist of Fun, which is a great comedy show that was was at Channel 4 back then?
Yeah, that was they'd written it. That was their first TV,
right?
And I was sort of guest comedy actor, I guess, playing all these different characters. Again, all sorts of characters. An old British back in the Iron Age, all dressed in the Iron Age, running up a hill in Kent somewhere.
Wow.
Which it's different. And then you're a policeman, and then you're something else. So it was great fun. That was the start of Stuart and Richard's careers. Then I don't know what happened to them. I don't think he's done very well at all. But
Stuart Lee definitely is just done incredible, hasn't he? With his
he's great.
Yeah.
And we met them. Seriously, we met them later a couple of years ago in Edinburgh, and they were both delightful.
Oh wow.
We relived the memories of running up the hill.
That was fabulous. And then you get a lot of parts as an actor, or you say as a jobbing actor, everybody tries out the bill, don't they? But you were doing the bill probably for about 10 years, so you're on and off.
I did. I think I did the bill 6 times. I did EastEnders a couple of times. I almost got a regular in EastEnders as Dagenham Dave.
Okay.
And the joke was I wasn't from Dagenham. That was I was a northerner. There was a second-hand furniture salesman. So that was with Dot and Jim. Remember Dot and Jim?
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, John Barden. Yeah, bless him.
Yeah. That's it. So the scenes with that was hilarious. With Dot Cotton, she comes on set in character.
Does she really?
Disconcerting. So little jobs like that, and Heartbeat and Holby City and just say jobbing actors. But they were there then. The Heartbeat was a great gig. Lots of drama. Then got into the comedy with Armando Iannucci. Did 3 series with Armando.
Oh, amazing, because he obviously created Alan Partridge, but he's done much more than that as well. So Armando, those shows, were they sketch shows that you were part of?
They were sketches, but again, with the way Armando worked was you had to improvise, and it's great fun.
Nice.
Okay, when you get a partner for interview, that's fine. But with Armando, we did one scene where we were sat around a table as businessmen, and we had stones in front of us, and basically the quarry business wasn't doing very well. So the sketch was, it sounds very cruel, about the stone throwing in the Middle East, so they stone people to death.
Oh, right, yes.
There's very sort of pushing the envelope stuff. And he said, okay, you're the guy with the big rock, you're the middle rock, you're the small, and improvise. So and that's what he did. So you all had an input, and then he sort of point you in a different direction, and as you went along, and that's the way he worked. So I think I did 3 different series with Armando. It was great. It was great fun.
Oh, nice! Wow, yeah, he's a great talent, great writer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. So there's lots of experience. It's nice to have that improvisation skill. It's stepping into the territory of Monty Python, or even Ricky Gervais today, isn't it? It's,
and bouncing off each other, writing as you go along. See, from one idea comes another idea, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But it's great fun to do. So that was the direction I was going. I was doing lots of comedy. And then I auditioned for this thing called Family Affairs, which is a soap opera.
Okay, yeah. I done pantomime with Richard Burke. I don't know if you know Richard. And Richard was in Family Affairs, actually, at the time I was doing panto with him. Nice young lad. But you won, was you up for British Soap Award as well for the Best Exit?
Yes. I don't like to talk about it, actually, because the whole family got blown up in a boat. It wasn't very pleasant.
That's not a nice exit, is it?
2 years in the soap opera, and again, it was when we started. We did the first 2 years, and there were 17 characters, and it was full on. I was doing like 17 scenes a day, and constantly learning lines, and constantly working in front of the camera. So it was a great experience and great fun, hard work, and then the new producer came in and decided to blow the whole family up. So that was. We got blown up in a boat.
But you got the award for it.
We got the award.
Wow. Well, it's a sad way to leave, isn't it? Am I going to cheat on someone? I'm going to run away from home. No, you're going to get blown up in a boat. That's it.
Exactly, yes. There's no chance you're coming back.
No, that's your demise. You could come back. They did it in Dallas, didn't they?
They did, yeah. I did say, maybe Chris Hart, there was a character. Maybe Chris Hart had a twin brother.
Right.
I did put that storyline forward, but it was swiftly rejected for some reason.
Continuity.
We do like talking comedy on Eyes and Teeth. You worked with Jack D in Lead Balloon. I loved that series. I'm gutted it's still not on. But so around about 2006, you appeared in Lead Balloon.
That was a funny story. I auditioned for that, and I basically played a drunken manager at an award ceremony, and they wanted somebody to be really, really drunk. So I did the audition and got the job, got the gig, and then they had a meeting. They said, "Look, we want a little rehearsal." So we had this rehearsal with the writers and they saw the character and Jack and producers. And I didn't get the message. They wanted me to have learnt the lines, but I didn't get that message. So I just thought it was a reading. So I went and read it, left the workshop, and got a phone call from agent saying, they don't want you to do that because you didn't know your lines. I went, but I wasn't told to do the lines. Anyway, eventually did it and spent a day filmed with Jack, and in between shoots and locations in the car with him. He was delightful. He was a great guy.
Oh, wow.
I nearly lost the gig there, but it turned out right in the end.
I always have nightmares about every time I've got a pantomime coming up, probably 2 months away from panto. I'm going on stage to do my panto script, and I've not learnt it, and I don't know the words, but it's literally 1 or 2 months before panto even opens, and we're not even starting rehearsals, but I always have those nightmares.
We all do. Steve, we all do.
Is that a nervous thing that we all get?
But I'm on stage in my underpants, and I don't know my lines. I don't know if you have that one.
Oh, conversational.
You kind of have mirrored Jonty's life building up to what you're both doing now, because he's done the job in actor thing. You've both been doing sitcoms and movies and comedy shows and things, and then you guys meet, but you've known each other quite a long time, haven't you?
We met at drama school. Jonty was 2 years ahead of me. He was in the final year and I was at first year. And we went to the party, obviously, different parties, obviously, at drama school, and just hit it off. And it's a bit, there's a great interview with Morecambe and Wise, and then they said, why, the interview's been very serious, so why does this relationship work? And Eric said, well, I make him laugh and he makes me laugh. and I think that was the basis of their comedy, was what they found funny. They work. And Jonty and I like that. You know, he gets all my references. I mean, I can say half a sentence and he'll finish my sandwich. You know, it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've always laughed together. We've always been really, really good friends. And I was the best man at his wedding, I think. I can't quite remember. So we've been mates all along, but we never went anywhere near the same jobs. We both worked as job and actors. And then one day they asked Jonty to do a sketch at the golf club as Eric, and he said, I need an Ernie. And I was at the bar, and he looked across, and he said, do you want to be Ernie Wise? I went,
wow.
I can't think of anything more ridiculous. I mean, Robert Redford, yes, but not Ernie Wise, obviously. So anyway, we did the sketch. I didn't take it very seriously because I was there just to support Jonty, and we did it. And then a few years later, they said, will you do it again? And this time, we wrote something in the style of the boys, thinking we'd done about 8 minutes on stage, and we'd done about 20.
Wow.
Got the standing ovation.
Natural.
And everybody saying, you should do something, you should go and do something with this. And still, well, I believe it was Morecambe, because he's brilliant as Eric Morecambe.
Yes.
I didn't think, I was just sort of doing a passing resemblance of Ernie. But obviously, the combination of the two of us, it just kind of, and our relationship, I think, is the magic dust to it as well. Like their friendship, our friendship, and trust on stage sort of makes it work.
Yeah, we can see that. We can see that trust between you both, and it works. The magic works on stage, doesn't it? And we can tell that you love each other. You're like brothers, aren't you? I mean, it really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's why it works. And but you say you didn't think you had that resemblance to Ernie, but I'm looking at the poster now of your tour, and you have to take a double take. You think, is that Morecambe and Wise? It's incredible how, I mean, it's you're an actor, you're a great actor, and so you can even depict that in a photograph. But when you see the show, and I've seen it 3 times now in 3 amazing venues. It's just the most incredible thing. It gives the people in the audience a brilliant feeling, because I saw you in Edinburgh first time. It was sold out, and it's just, what was Edinburgh like for you both when you first went up there? Because it was a hit, wasn't it?
Well, after the gig we did for our mates at the golf club, we wrote, we met this guy and said, look, we want to write a play, and he thought, I'd back you. So he saw us doing a little gig somewhere in a bar somewhere. We're just trying it out, see where are we going to go. We had no idea what's going to happen. And he said, look, he didn't believe we could be Eric and Ern until he saw the little gig we did. He said, look, I'll back you. What do you need? And we said, money. So he said, so basically we did a little tryout at a little theatre in London, and we wrote some material. We did 30 minutes of their material, 50 minutes of their material, 50 minutes of our material, and we wrote as the characters, because we want to write a play. We didn't want to just stand up and be Eric and Ern.
Of course, yeah.
We wanted to write a play about them, so understand what made them tick and why they were funny and their relationship and all that stuff. So that's what we were aiming for. And so we did this tryout, and again, another amazing reaction. So then we got a director involved and a producer involved, and we devised this play and tried it out. And we tried it at a couple of small theatres. The first one, it was a disaster. We tried different. It's something that didn't work, and we fixed it. By the time we got to Edinburgh, and a bit long and short of it, we got to Edinburgh. We kind of ironed out all the kinks, and the first time we did it was just an amazing reaction, and completely unexpected. I thought we were okay. Jonty's brilliant. I can't go on. He's the building block of the whole thing, because he's always done Eric, and his Eric is so brilliant. Yeah. And I always felt that I was there just really to support him and help in any way I can, and try and do the best. Because I don't do impressions. He does impressions, and they're very accurate. I'm more of an actor. I do sort of a kind of a representation of the character.
Sure.
So that's what I was doing. But obviously, the two combined, it really, really works.
It's 50-50, isn't it? It's just
And,
pure
and
magic.
I think we forget that. I think we've gone on stage sometimes. We forget how much you look like them and sound like them, and that people are just, for the first 5 minutes, apparently, are going, wow. Wow.
Yes.
That's what's happening at the beginning.
Yeah. They're enjoying that moment of having the possibility of seeing Morecambe and Wise that night. But then we kind of relax, because I have been in the audience, as I said, 3 times. You relax into watching Morecambe and Wise. And then and at the end of it, we're applauding the show as Morecambe and Wise. But then we're applauding you because you both have depicted them 100%. And so you're getting 2 kind of rounds of applause, if you know what I mean. Because it's
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, I think people sit there and they go, go on then. I dare you, be Morecambe Wise.
Skeptics.
We've had people have come along and said, I haven't seen your show for years. I've been wanting to see it, but I knew I'd be disappointed. I thought I'd be disappointed. And they come out and they say, my God, we weren't disappointed. And so you can feel that as a performer. You know, it's like on stage. You know when you've got the audience, and it takes a little while. It takes them, some audiences 5 minutes, some audiences 10 minutes. They vary, but eventually you do get them, because they are going. They're very aware of what they're seeing, and until they start believing, then they trust you. Then you're off. And then you're flying. Both the audience and us, we're all flying together. That's what live theatre does. You feed off each other.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's we've had some magical nights. There's one in Liverpool where halfway through the show, this one was laughing so much and so hysterically. I mean, we just stopped the show and looked at this woman, and the more we just stopped, she was in hysterics. The audience were in hysterics. We just raised the roof. It's a magical thing, laughter, isn't it? When you get people laughing, it's a very.
It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Wonderful feeling.
And I've seen 3 different audiences really. So I've seen the Edinburgh, which is a festive audience, can be a tough audience, but not when I come to see you. And then I've seen you on a cruise ship in the Limelight on the P&O ship, where it's a cabaret dinner experience, a completely different.
Tougher. It's much tougher.
It's much tougher. It's got a mouthful of chicken or whatever, but.
And that's just jaunty.
and then I saw you at Chichester's the Festival Theatre was a Christmas edition of it, and it was another incredible, completely different scenario, but it was like the Christmas show was live on telly, but you were in the audience. It was fantastic, and it was I can't explain it. You do bring that magic. It's a wonderful experience, and people have to come and see it, don't they? Because like you say, people don't believe it, that they're skeptic that it's going to be anything like it, but you give them that.
You can't blame them, because Eric, we're not just talking about just anybody. We're talking about Morecambe and Wise. They're part of our child, part of growing up. They're the British icons of comedy. They really are. They're massive. Well, we don't fill their shoes. We try and shine a light on their comedy and their brilliance. This is what we do. And we wouldn't have been doing it for so long had we not got the feedback that we've. Because you do, as an actor, you do a job, especially theatre. We thought, well, we'll do Edinburgh, and maybe we'll do a little tour of 6 weeks, and that'll be it. We'll carry on.
Sure.
And it's been 6 years.
Yeah, exceeded the expectations. Yeah, and definitely the support of the family as well. Gary Morecambe and his wife Joan, Eric's wife Joan, and Gail, their daughter. They all support you and they love the show, don't they?
They do. They come all the time. Joan saw the original play, and she loved it. And then of course Eddie Braben, who wrote a lot of the stuff for Morecambe Wise. He saw the video we did in the early days at the theatre before we did Edinburgh. We sent the tape to him saying, look, do you mind if we use your material? And he gave permission to use material.
Oh, brilliant.
Sadly, he died 2 weeks later, but his widow Dee comes to see us all the time, and we pay her writing royalties. Gail and Gary come all the time. They give feedback and suggest things. They constantly see, and we're constantly in contact with them. And whatever we do, and
you report back.
Of course, they're informed. Of course, the thing they wouldn't let us do for a long time was Charlie, the dummy, the ventriloquist.
Oh, really? So what was there? Because
they held off on that because here's the thing. From their point of view, there are certain things that they want us to do, they're happy for us to do, and certain things that they think should remain on television and not touched.
Okay.
So we do a nod and a wink to certain things that you'll be, like the breakfast sketch. In the new show, we do nodded a wink to that now. We never did it before.
Right.
Because they wouldn't give us permission. So slowly they began to trust us and see what we do, and that everything we do, we make sure they're happy with it. But the ventriloquist, we asked them in the early days, they said, no, we don't want to let you do that. And then eventually they said, okay, you can do it.
Amazing.
And that's, of course, we knew you by then, and I rang you up and said, do you any idea where we can get a ventriloquist dummy? And you went, I just happen to have... It's not Charlie, is it? Was it you?
It's little Kenny. I've got a lot of unemployed dummies here, yeah, so they're already... They work more than I do, actually.
Well, he was very good. He always knew his lines. Unlike you, he always knew his lines. There was no trouble. No trouble.
I didn't know I was supposed to learn the lines.
Never says a word. But he's very good. And he's perfect for the role, isn't he?
He's brilliant. I did see you in Chichester with him, and I literally had tears rolling down my eyes, really for the pathos of it, not just because it was so funny, but because you, again, have depicted another iconic routine that they did. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, when we were rehearsing that, oh my God. There are a couple of sketches, well, there's quite a few sketches, and we run lines all the time because it's bum, 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 bum. It's just the two of us all the time. We run lines all the time, and to keep on top of it. And we're still laughing 6 years. I laugh in the same place virtually every time. And I don't know why. There's certain things just get me all the time. And John's the same. But when we started rehearsing that, oh my God, I mean, it took us about 5 rehearsals just to get through it, really. It's just so funny. It's brilliant. I don't know if everybody's ever seen it. Because they never did on their television shows.
They only done it on the live Croydon thing, didn't they? Which I've got in front of me. It's on a VHS. So it's the live Croydon show, and they done the vent sketch.
1973, live at Croydon. Yeah, Fairfield Hall, Croydon. They did. Well, that was their live act. There were some things in their live acts that they did, but you could see the cross references of television things that the television show thing that they did. Yeah. They did in the live shows on the television, and that was one. I think they did it in America as well. For the Ed Sullivan show.
Sullivan, okay, wow. Yeah. But, I think I'm going to put that on later. Actually, I might put the live show on later. I've got my video player here, so I can still watch and study some of the old classics. But the wonderful thing,
sorry, just interrupt very quickly. That's what we studied. That was all our performances were back in the early days. Of course, Johnson knew everything. He's Morecambe Wise nut. He knows everything about Morecambe Wise. For me, I was just a normal fan, but I had to learn all these sketches and things about Morecambe Wise. I've learned over the years, and that's the tape we studied. Over and over and over and over.
Oh, really?
And
wow.
To start with, we tried to copy their timing.
Yes.
And you can't. So that's eventually. Okay, we'll learn the routines and we'll kind of put our own timing on it, which works obviously.
Ah, it's amazing.
Ice and Teeth.
That's a lovely story. The clever thing is that you both add new material as if it is Eric and Ernie. So how are you? Because you know the guys so well, really, by playing them, but you perform your own ideas that suit their style. That's clever.
I think it's because growing up with them as well, it's our sense of humour, if you like. John and I, it's our kind of humour anyway.
Yes.
And I'm a northern lad from Manchester, and they were both northerners. And sometimes we'd be reading things or writing things, and Johnson would put something, or we'd write something. So no, it doesn't scan right. There's a northern way of saying things without being too northernist or having a go. The Welsh or a Cockney would speak different. There's a different rhythm. We all have rhythms.
Yes.
From where we're brought up. There's Norfolk and whatever. And the boys had a certain rhythm, and there's a rhythm to their comedy. And I think we kind of tuned into that, I think, and that's what worked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the delivery, isn't it? And you've got that delivery that you've mastered, which is
even a word I played a different word in a different place, would spoil that. And a punchline. If you drop a word at a certain time, you won't get a bigger laugh.
Yes.
So it's a craft, isn't it? It's a craft. It's a skill.
It
you've got to work it. And by the way, it looks good that we, but to write a sketch like that, it's not just done in 10 minutes. You go over and over and over and over and over. You really have to work at it and find out what works and what doesn't work as well.
Oh, definitely. It's an incredible a bit of discipline as well, isn't it? Sort of learning. I mean, to go off script. I have seen a few times some instances where you've had to ad lib or John T's ad libbed, but you both know where to come back straight away, don't you? Like that lady laughing, you know to come straight back and lead into it.
Well, the thing is, sometimes if John T goes wrong, I can save him, or if I go wrong, he can save me. It's when we both go wrong that we look into each other's eyes. There was one time in Edinburgh where we missed the word or something, and we ended up skipping 7 pages.
Oh no, one word.
We knew we got wrong, but we couldn't get back to where we were to do the whole routine again. So,
no.
But now, after all these years, that was very early on. We know we go wrong. You'll just say, "No, you've gone wrong." You've gone wrong, haven't you? So we'll just start again. The audience love it when we go wrong.
Yeah.
As long as the audience are in on it, then that works.
What have I told you about learning your script before you turn up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh,
We've rehearsed this. We've rehearsed this. This is what I say. Yeah.
No, I saw you. It may have been 2 years ago, it may have been a bit nearer, but the one show there was 2 comedy icons on there, Jimmy Tarbuck and Des O'Connor, and you guys were on with them. And for Des O'Connor to have that connection with Morecambe and Wise, what did he think about you playing Morecambe and Wise?
Well, you watch the show, you watch the clip, because we did it in the studio. They're reliving the Palladium. The Beatles, the bootleg Beatles were on before us, and we went on, and they filmed us, but they put it in black and white. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's quite frail then with Jimmy. Jimmy Tarbuck introduced us, and they didn't tell Dad anything about it. And he's looking at the screen, and he's going, you can see him thinking, is this a clip? Or is that those guys? Is this a clip? Was that those guys? He's quite amused, and afterwards he was lovely.
Wow.
He said, fantastic, really enjoyed it, and what a privilege to meet him before he died.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Tarbuck was delightful as well. He's very supportive. We did another gig with Jimmy, and what a supportive guy he is. He's fantastic.
He's wonderful. He really cares about the business.
He loves show business. He loves comedy. He knows what it's like to do it. It's
yes.
There's a lot goes on behind the scenes. Just to do.
Yeah.
To anybody who gets up on stage, you've got to applaud, really.
Oh, definitely. You have this wonderful guest called Becky Neal, and she's a lovely special guest you have on the show. Comes on and sings, and you both sort of weave her into the show. And it's just a lovely part to kind of breaks it up, for a bit, and she comes.
We met her on the ship.
Did you?
She'd been on the ship. And I think the ex-manager introduced us, and we just chatted to her for 5 minutes. She was getting off the ship. We just got on. She was rushing off. She was very bubbly, chat. She's a singer. And as she walked off, I said to John T, she'd be great for the show, we were thinking about a guest singer.
Okay.
And anyway, we left it at that, and then we got ashore. We got back to the UK. I Googled her and saw her show reel, got in touch, and she came down and met the guys, and that was it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Absolutely brilliant.
That's so nice. It just makes it a nice full package then, doesn't it? Especially for the Christmas show.
To take the mickey out of it. There's a certain routine. I won't spoil it for you, for the listeners, but there's a certain routine we do, and it just brings the house down. She's singing this song, and Eric and I do something like they did with the Shirley Bassey, in the same vein as Shirley Bassey, but completely different. But
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, your career has brought you to this. You don't have any regrets at all. Are you enjoying where this has brought you, Ian? Because it's such a wonderful thing to watch.
It's lovely. I've done all those different types of acting, and the film, the television, and this show. You come off. And we have people come up to us and say, thank you for taking me back to, reminding me of my grandparents or my husband or my wife or whatever it is. Wow. You can see it's something more than a show where people go, that was good, thank you very much, lovely, applaud, or laugh.
Yep.
It's something more than that. There's a real emotional connection with the audience. And for us as well. And it's like, when you speak to people like that after a show, it's quite special.
Yeah, it's amazing what you've achieved. Two working class lads who've made it in comedy. You said once.
Yes.
It's just brilliant. And I want to thank you.
The bit we missed out was our first night in the West End, because we after Edinburgh we transferred to the West End.
Wow.
And we had an opening night at the Vaudeville Theatre with a big, huge board above, with John Stephen Lee and Ashpitel and Eric and it was just like it's stuff for a dream. And the first night and the standing ovation and the after show party with Lord Grade,
wow,
who wrote us a personal note the day after, a personal note arrived, inviting us for tea at the House of Lords. So we went to the House of Lords and had tea with Michael Grade.
Yes.
And he just wanted to talk about Eric and because he loved them so much.
Oh,
and
wow.
went to the House of Lords for tea. It was just, there's all these little stories. And then you meet people who've met Eric and Ern when they were, in the 70s in a chip shop in Bradford. And, I met Eric and... So we get all these stories, and a musician who played in the famous sketch,
yes,
playing all the right notes, not showing the right.
Oh yeah, Andrew Previn, yeah.
Yeah, which preview. The wife of the second trumpet from the left was, it's just those little stories.
Oh wow, that
you can see him in the video laughing his head off. It's this wonderful story. Dancers we met who worked with them, everybody, lots of people who worked with them, and nobody's got a bad word to say about them.
That's incredible. You're bringing back nostalgia. I want to thank you for bringing Morecambe and Wise back to us, because you do it in style. You guys are very talented men, and thanks for being on Eyes and Teeth, Ian. I really appreciate your time, mate. It's lovely getting to know you by watching your work. You're very talented people, and thank you so much, and good luck in getting back on stage pretty soon, because I know we'll need it.
Thank you, Stephen. Absolute pleasure, sir. Cheers, mate. Take care, Steve. All the best, mate.
Thanks, Ian.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much to Ian. To be honest, his and John T's tour schedule was so mental, I'm glad they've had a chance to rest over the past year, to be with their families, take time to reflect on the success of the show, as he will be back out there again real soon. To get tickets for the tour, follow Ian on Twitter at Ashpitel, or Facebook as Ian Ashpitel, and check out dates at www.ericandlittleern.co.uk. Today's comedy quote comes from, of course, Ernie Wise. We took the whole thing far too seriously. After all, those were early days in television. Eyes and Teeth is written, produced and hosted by Steve Hewlett. Vocals by Lola, Larissa and Nina Hewlett. Additional vocals by Rich T. The Eyes and Teeth music and jingles are all produced and performed by Kevin Dean. Tune in sooner than you think to Eyes and Teeth Funny for Money, when I chat to the other half of this wonderful success story, the brilliant and funny John T. Stevens.